It is July 1985, and you are the project manager of the solid fuel boosters of the shuttle program system for the Space Shuttle Challenger. You wrote to your superiors voicing concerns of faulty designs of the solid rocket boosters that you have a strong suspicion that, if left without investigation, could lead to events that could only be described as catastrophic. It is January 28th, 1986, and you plead to them to fix the O-rings in the shuttle's right solid rocket booster, but no action was taken. It's the day of the mission. You know from tests that the O-rings won't be able to seal the joints of the boosters at 10 degrees Celsius, the coldest day on record. You know that, but they won't listen. The mission must go on. 3, 2, 1. You and the rest of the world watch the Challenger rocket begin takeoff. 58 seconds after launch, the shuttle is buffeted by high-altitude winds and collapses the ash seal where the hot gas streams out and burns into the external hydrogen tank. 15 seconds later, and the rocket you warned about gives way, and you, along with the rest of humanity, watches with horror as the shuttle disintegrates, killing all 7 members on board. You are Roger Boyce-Julie. It's been a common question for millennia. Do we have free will? From the play of Oedipus Rex to the infamous experiment of Benjamin Libet, and for those eons until now, there's been no consensus. But I'm not here to argue if free will does or does not exist. I'm here to ask instead something I don't know if we consider enough. Do we want free will? The reflexive answers most people would have is a resounding yes, but why? Do we really want to know that every choice we make is our own and nothing else's? Should we feel comfort knowing that every instance of our lives that we've lived and yet to live are purely of our own making? Not a predetermined path fated in the heavens for us to have no choice but to follow, but a road onto which each step we take is a brick we lay at our own feet, where regardless of where that road takes us, we were the only ones who could have brought us there. Or perhaps you're one of the dissenters who says, nay, I don't want free will. You might ask yourself, who would want something as terrifying as free will? To carry the burden that every mistake, every failure, every bit of suffering we're subject to is of our own making, that we have no one to blame but ourselves when the world turns against us and we in turn on ourselves. And honestly, I can't help but feel a bit of comfort to think that way, that maybe all the mistakes we've made, the people we've hurt, the losses we've had were all out of our control. It would be a somewhat conflicted sigh of relief to take the weight of our decisions off our shoulders and resign our failures and foibles to anything, anyone, but the person making them. It wouldn't be so bad, we might say. It wouldn't be so bad. Of course, the question of accomplishment arises after the buzz of resignation to fate subsides. It must then follow that all of our accomplishments, all our loves and victories, all the times we've saved the day, the hour, the minute, the second, or held a loved one when no one else was there for them, gave your last dollar to someone who needed it more, picked yourself up when you fell off your wagon only to hold the reins and outdo yourself beyond what you thought you were capable of. All those moments of euphoria, fulfillment, whatever you wish to call it, wouldn't it feel a bit hollow? That none of those things we did really had any importance, that everything we've ever done, every life we've ever saved, every tree we've ever planted, everything we've ever done that we could take satisfaction in was all pointless. We're really only left with 2 choices. Do we want free will and accept that every horrible thing we've ever done or had to do or had happened to us was by our own hands? while at the same time recognizing that all the wonderful things in our lives became a reality by our own effort and no one else. In the same way that you can never take joy in any of the things that we work for in a deterministic world because, well, what choice did you have? What choice did you have but to donate your first paycheck, or talk to a friend who's been drowning out their problems in all the worst ways? Should anyone congratulate you for that? You had no choice but to be a good person, so were you really? That's not for me to say. That's for you to determine. What I can say is Roger Boisterly did everything in his power to stop the launch from happening. He tried all the channels available to him, but was refused along every step of the way. He didn't harm other people or sabotage the shuttle publicly to draw attention to it, so to say he exhausted every single option, at least to someone like Sartre, wouldn't be entirely accurate. But in the most ethical way possible, he did what he thought he could have done, and I, along with everyone else who spoke with him after the mission, said the same thing. It's not your fault. For years after the failure, he carried that weight on his shoulders with the thoughts that he could have, should have done more, weighing on him. But everyone, including the supervisors he pleaded to, all said the same thing. It's not your fault. None of it could have been. It was all out of your control. If anyone can say it was supposed to happen or not, I don't know. I'm the furthest thing from omniscient, and I won't pretend I could have done any differently. Even in a time where we would all like to be completely free to do all we want, I do think there is a certain comfort we can take from the cruelty of the world to muse that things couldn't have been any other way. And like all things, this video must come to an end. I'd like to thank you for making it to this point of this little talk. It's been a tremendously odd time, to say the least, writing this video at 1 in the morning and talking with myself in front of a microphone. This was my first video, so I have no clue how I did. Do leave a comment below telling me if I wasn't clear on anything or what could be improved. I will read and respond to them if they meet the criteria for response. Do subscribe if you feel more videos like this will be worth your time, and thanks for being here. Peace.